Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Great Day. And boy, do we have a busy weekend in the world of motorsports. Lots of champions were crowned, and we have a whole bunch of them to talk about here this morning. First, we have to tell you about something we told you first here on Great Day on Friday morning. As soon as it was announced, while we were still live, we found out those big rains were hitting north of the Des Moines area and rained out Marshalltown. So no racing at the Marshalltown Speedway on Friday evening. Xfinity Series had a chance to run, and they were running in a very cool place in Wisconsin at Watkins Glen in Wisconsin. And boy, a local end up taking home the checkered flag. Paul Menard ends up winning at Watkins Glen. What a great job, or I should say Road America in Wisconsin, not too far from where he ended up growing up, right? Not too far from where Menard's home field is located, home office is located. So Paul Menard holds off Ryan Blaney toward the end at Road America in Elkhart, Wisconsin. Brian Scott, our good friend, finished in third place. Chase Elliott fourth. Bubba Wallace finished in fifth place. Boris Said, who was the ringer in the event, ended up finishing in sixth. Ty Dillon and Brendan Gaughan, a couple of guests on the program, finished in 10th and 16th, respectively. Warren County Speedway had a chance to run over the weekend, and there are your winners from Warren County Speedway down in Indianola. Boone Speedway, boy, we had a lot of things going on at Boone, and first and foremost, they had a bicycle race, and it was supposed to be just right down the front straightaway, but this little guy says, you know what, I think I can make it all the way around, and he decides to go all the way around the track that is Macon Robinson from Boone. And did he make it around? Oh, you betcha he did, as the crowd was cheering just like it was the final lap of the Super Nationals for this little guy. But had a great time out there. It was KCWI. Now there he is with his trophy that he got for his participation. But Tyler Dickinson, he ended up getting some great videos of this evening's activities. These guys are fast. These are some of the quickest vehicles you're going to find at Boone Speedway on championship night. And boy, did they have a championship run. That was pretty cool watching. I almost want to make sure I want to climb inside of those Mod Lights just to see what they're like, but those things just absolutely fly around the track. Stock car races, they were a lot of fun too. The 19 there, you're going to keep an eye on him, Jay Schmidt there. He's never won a championship at Boone Speedway. He's finished second more times than he cares to remember. We had a chance to talk to him after the race was over, but he didn't have to win this race. He just had to make sure he didn't finish but 13th or beyond, and he had the championship. So he was playing it smart, and all eyes were on him. The crowd was watching where that number 19 was going. Last lap of the event, got tied up in a little melee behind him, but he ended up what they call keeping his nose clean for the entire event and end up winning the championship. Good job out of him. Here are the winners from championship night at Boone Speedway on Saturday evening. So a great time was had by all. Mentioned that it's championship night, so let's take a look at the Boone champions. Had a chance to take pictures as yours truly driving the pace car in the feature races. So we took some shots as the races were about set to get going. They park them out in front like this, introduce them to the crowd, then they let them run their feature event. So congratulations to Josh. He ended up taking home the Mod Light championship. Jake McBurney in the Sport Mod division, very cool guy, had a great time there. How about Eric Stanton? Nice uniform, man. Commented about that. And there's the guy we were just talking about, Jay Schmidt. Finally, always a bridesmaid. Not this time. He is the 2015 stock car champion. And then Jimmy Gustin. That's not Jimmy Gustin. That was Jackie waiting before Jimmy's race. But anyway, there he is. There's Jimmy Gustin. He is your modified champion at the Boone Speedway. Now, I want to remind you about Boone. That place is going to be busy. Busy. Starting a week from today is when they crown their first champion. The late model Super National champion will be crowned a week from today. So get your tickets and get set to go there. That is going to be crazy. Speaking of crazy, how about the Camping World Truck Series? They were racing on a road course. Well, look at this guy. That's Robert Minton qualifying, backs it into the wall, and the truck stays up like that. Then he had to climb out, and they had to get him some assistance to get down off of the out of the window of the vehicle. But here is the end of the race, and again, this is the way it always seems to be. Alex Tagliani in the blue truck there trying to take down Eric Jones, the youngster, and he was right there, and then jams it into gear to try to get a good run, and that's when the gearbox, they think it may have been to do with something earlier where he missed a shift, last couple of turns, and the transmission goes away on the Brad Keselowski number 29 truck. That's good news for Eric Jones. He comes home the winner of the Chevrolet Silverado 250 up in Canada at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So a lot of fun. Matt Crafton ended up sneaking into second place in the event. Johnny Sauter ended up finishing third, and Timothy Peters had a rough time of it. Spent some time in the pit area, actually in the garage area, before getting back on the track and finishing 22nd overall. Now, Knoxville Raceway, they had their championship evening as well. We'll start with the 305s, and 305 race begins, and that is Joe Cimbro. He gets upside down. He is okay, believe it or not. All that violence, and he was all right. But McKenna Haase is our buddy racing here. She was in control of this event, got hung up by a little bit of traffic, but that was all right because in the meantime, it looks like a quicker car did end up zipping around here. Devin Klein got around here. So then McKenna says, okay, we're going to get him back. So she gets a bead on Devin and goes up high. So does a slower car. That's McKenna Haase. Up and around, gets over and over and over. Wayne comes right on top of the canopy of the race car. Emergency crews are out there immediately, not sure what's going on with McKenna. You can see there she is climbing out of the vehicle with some assistance. She did walk back to the ambulance. I did talk to her yesterday. She is banged up, but she is doing okay. So good news for McKenna Haase. But then Devin goes on and takes home the checkered flag. 360 division, they had their championship night as well, and there was one guy that you had to keep an eye on, and that's that dude right there. That is Justin Henderson. He had everybody's number. Then in the 410 division, race starts out same old, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Henderson, he was hooked up and just motors on by everybody. Justin Henderson goes on and does something that not a whole lot of people have ever done. Wins the couple of events back-to-back over at Knoxville Raceway. Justin Henderson is one of 4 drivers to win both the 360 and 410 races in the same night, and only the second one in history to do it twice. Here he is coming out of the final turn in the 410 championship race. And there you have it. He doesn't do that very often. He doesn't climb on the back of the car very often, but he did end up doing it. Here are the winners of the events from Saturday night at Knoxville Raceway. Devin Klein, as you saw, did win the 305s. Justin. And champions, we mentioned championship night all over the place, and Knoxville was one of them. There are your champions. Stacey Alexander in the 305s gets the crown there. Danny Lasowski sets a record with his 10th championship. Way to go, dude. And Clint Garner, another record, 6 360 championships for Clint Garner. So great job out of all those guys at Knoxville. IndyCar Series, this was the one that finished late yesterday. This is in Sonoma, California. Great track. Had a chance to race on that years ago before the Des Moines Grand Prix. And this is double points day. And double points day means everybody's a little bit more aggressive because anybody can win. Juan Pablo Montoya had a 34 and a 47-point lead over his competition. There's Juan there. Very aggressive, gets into willpower. Oh, turns him around. Not good when your teammates. We'll get another view of this over here. Not a good situation. All kinds of people. You're trying to push the limit because you're getting double points for the event today. And why does that come into play? Well, everybody's pushing it to the limit. Jake Jakes gets into the tire barrier. It's a guy who you've seen on this program in the past. He was all right. That's the tires did their job. But when everything was done, that man there ends up winning the race. That is Scott Dixon, and ends up tying Juan Pablo Montoya because he had 3 wins. That man there goes home a winning owner in a championship, winning owner, his 100th victory for Chip Ganassi. There's Scott Dixon. He does the surfing move as well. Ends up winning the championship, believe it or not, even though he did tie with Juan Pablo Montoya in the points with the win in that race. He had 3 wins. Juan Pablo had 2, including the Indianapolis 500, but Dixon ends up winning the 2015 IndyCar Championship. So congratulations to him. Stewart Speedway ran last night. Here are your winners from Stewart Speedway. They did have their champions crowned last night as well. Those are the champions from Stewart International Speedway. And want to remind everybody, coming up in a week, less than a week, It is the Quentin Walrod Memorial. It's the 6th of September. Jimmy May, the winner last year, and hopefully he will be there. We did see Jimmy at Boone over the weekend. I have a funny feeling he is going to be there. Jimmy's doing well. We'll show you pictures of him a little later on in the broadcast. But there you have it. There's your Monday morning race review brought to you by our good friends at Tony Morrow Collision Center. We'll be right back. You are watching Great Day Live on KCWI.